Okay, we're going to talk today about direct objects, direct object pronouns, and direct object pronoun placement. Let's start with the direct object pronouns. Here they are. This is me, that's the informal you, that's him, her, and formal you would depend on the gender of the person, which one you use to replace it with. This is us. This is the most social replacement, the one we wouldn't use much. And then we have the they and the y'all replacements that will depend on the gender of the thing that's being discussed. Now let's talk about the placement of these pronouns. Direct object pronouns go before a conjugated verb. And they can come at the end of infinitives. We'll look at more examples of this in just a second. There are two other places where they can be put, at the end of a present participle or at the end of a command. But in chapter 4 of this book, the only two that we'll have to deal with will be right before the conjugated verb as a number one or at the end of an infinitive. Okay, let's start with this first sentence. My mom has 15 cats. So let's circle this direct object here that's in red. Okay. Now, that's a masculine plural word, so I need to pull my masculine plural direct object from my list. And that would be los, L-O-S. So I'm going to say, my mom has them. There's my los, and I put it before the conjugated verb. That's how you do number one. Okay, now, let's look at number two. Maria is going to wash the windows. In this case, the windows is my direct object. Notice that it's feminine plural. Here it is. And that's a feminine plural word. Okay, my feminine plural direct object is los. Now here I have two choices. There's my conjugated verb, is going, and there's the verb to wash. That's an infinitive. So we're going to do this one two ways. Maria los, there's my direct object. Okay, so here's my direct object right before that conjugated verb. Now, let's do the other option where we put it on the end of the infinitive lavar. Now notice in this case, I've run that all together, and that is Maria ba lavarlas. Lavarlas, where the los is put right on the end of the infinitive lavar. So there's the two options, and in your homework you'll have some where you'll have to do both options with. Okay, now let's look at this last one. Mamá lleva a su hija a la escuela. Alright, here's my direct object. In this case, that's feminine singular. My feminine singular direct object is la. So, let's see, do I have an infinitive in this sentence? No. All I have is the verb lleva. She carries her daughter to the school. So let's do that one. Mama la lleva, right? We're putting it right before this conjugated verb. And it's a la escuela. A la escuela. Okay. This is the end of the lecture on direct object pronouns placement, and then your explanation on how to do some of your homework. Again, let's review the placement of the pronouns. First off, in number one, we put the replacement for quince gatos, which was los. We put the replacement pronoun right before the conjugated verb. In number two, we had both a conjugated verb and an infinitive. So we did one of each. In first instance, we put it right before the conjugated verb, and in the second one, we put it right on the end of the infinitive. And then in this last one, we didn't have an infinitive there, so we just put our direct object pronoun right before the conjugated verb lleva.